everybody, welcome. It's Risa and Kevin from Hudson Valley Vintage, and tonight we are doing a jewelry box makeover. What we did with this so far is obviously we took the doors off, Kevin's cleaned it, and we're gonna get started. We're gonna give it a major makeover. These are really popular right now. I'm seeing jewelry boxes made over everywhere, and they're pretty fun. And it's like making over a tiny bureau or armoire. So I still need to sand these. So I've got some 220 grit sandpaper. So with sandpaper, the higher the number, the finer the grit.
It's good to scuff.
So we're going to be using, I think I mentioned a transfer. We're going to be using a stencil. We're going to be using paint, obviously. We're going to use some metallics. We may not get all of it done tonight. If we don't, we'll finish next week. So we're going to use general finishes tonight. So we sell the general finishes in pints and quarts. They do make larger sizes, so if you knew you needed a gallon, you could let me know and I could order it for you. So I'm gonna paint everything outside. This is like a felt or a velvet. I'm not gonna paint that. And I'm not gonna paint inside here because I want the drawers to fit right. Since this is a little tiny thing, I am using a smaller brush than I usually use. Now, I am not really worried about my hardware. I'm probably going to get paint on it, and that's fine. Look at the second coat here, and then the first coat. Totally different. I know a lot of people get discouraged. I know because they tell me after they do their first coat of paint, and you just can't. You know, in most cases, you're gonna have to do 2 coats of paint, sometimes even more. The chicken wire comes in handy for holding this. Now you do have to be careful with the heat guns.
Yeah, you want to be careful. So you want to remember what you have underneath your paint. So this does have a clear layer on it, and it's a new piece, so it's probably like a plastic coat clear. You know, not like it could be a polyurethane, but it could be a plastic coat. So if you hit it with a heat gun, you might melt it. Sometimes when you hit raw pine, the pine sap will actually bubble up through the paint. So you don't want to You don't want to overdo it.
Yeah, you don't want to do it on the highest, and you could burn yourself too.
There's that too. Yeah.
But
Yeah, don't be holding the piece in your hand and waving a 400-degree heat gun over it.
it's really.
Yeah, but you can use a hairdryer too. Hairdryers are just noisier and take a little longer.
Yeah.
You know, because those are nice. They have a high and a low setting, so you can put it on. You know,
the heat gun doesn't.
it's got a hot and a really hot. So,
Yeah.
but a blow dryer, you can just blow cool air on it if you wanted to.
Yeah.
You know, or just set up a small fan and put your piece next to the fan and just like let it sit there.
Yep, 2 coats I think is going to do it. I really do. And you know, you want your coats, whether you're painting a jewelry box or a dresser or whatever it is, you want nice thin coats. Thin coats are always more stable than thick coats. Okay, so I am going to take this stencil. This is a stick and style stencil from Redesign with Prima. So I'm going to start with this, and I'm thinking what I want to do, because I thought about this earlier, is do this across the top, like, just like in one area, in like a diagonal sort of way. I'm actually going to put a little tape here because I don't think I want it to go across the ridge here, or the edge I should say. And I'm going to use Paint Couture in copper because I love their metallics. They are the best metallics, like bar none. They're just amazing. So what you need to do when you use the Paint Couture metallics is shake and then stir. I have a stencil brush, and I like to use a little flat, dense stencil brush. These are real cheapy ones that I got like in Michael's or something. I'm going to use just the teeniest bit of paint, and then I'm going to dab some off. And I like to stencil 2 different ways. One is to kind of dab like this, and then the other is to swirl. Either one is right. You could use a combination of them both. What you don't want to do is to go back and forth like this or this, because the bristles can go underneath.
Yeah, so even the swirling, you got to be careful.
Yep. I'm going to pull that off. I got a little bit over here, but I can cover that.
You could always touch that up.
And I can cover that with something, with a transfer or something. So I'm just going to stick this over here to the side. Okay, so we've got that started.
Looks like a tire track.
It's pretty cool. So we've got that started. Okay, so
there you go.
that looks good. Okay, so let's cut the extra off. Because you don't need it. It just gets in your way. You do not need it. So now that I know I'm going to adhere it, I'm going to pull this off slowly.
And only now.
Only now. And
Don't drop it on the floor. That would be bad too.
there we go. I'm going to rub rub it on. I have a little, oh, that's fine. I have my transfer tool. So I'm just gonna rub this on. So these transfers come with the transfer tool. There is like a fancier transfer tool that you can buy separately that I think is about $7. But honestly, unless you're gonna do a whole bunch of them, this is fine. Isn't that pretty? You like that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna put some more on the other side. Okay. And again, you want to get rid of your extra white, extra, you know, clear and white. It just makes it easier. Let's see if we did it. I think it's pretty good. I think I just need to cut a teeny bit right there. Again, this is why you need to leave these
Together
until you're absolutely ready. And when you're pulling them apart, it's nice to find a little white spot where you can actually hold on to and not touch the transfer. Because if you touch the transfer, it's probably going to come off on your fingers. It really is not difficult to work with at all, but you want to pull up slow, because if a piece is still on the clear part, I can easily just put it right back down and rub it on. If I just pulled it off like a Band-Aid,
oof.
Yeah, not good. Doesn't that look pretty?
Yep.
Okay.
I think you put something else in the front.
Okay, so I like your idea about the drawers. Okay. So I think what I'm gonna do is, okay, I know what I'm gonna do. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put letters on 2 of the drawers, and I'm gonna put the stencil on the other 2 drawers. That's what I'm gonna do. So when you've got the plastic part all down, you don't want to go scratching your surface. So if you take just the little edge of the craft knife, it fits right under, and you can pull it up. That's kind of cute, right? Is that cute?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna put the other one on another drawer. And just make sure they all, yeah, they're all the same. Okay. And then I'm going to take this drawer, and I'm going to take my trusty stencil, I am making a mess. I am not usually this messy, but I'm making a mess tonight, and that's okay. Look at that. Does that look awesome or what? Or what? So obviously the doors have to go back on. And what I'll do is I'll paint a little copper on those handles, because I did paint right over the handles. Kevin's gonna put the knobs back on. I'm just trying to figure out the best way to do this. Think like that. Okay. And then we'll be done. That looks really good.
Yeah, it really
That
does.
looks really good. Good call, ladies. All right, so let me show you one side. The other side. I love the drawers. I think they look
Now put the
awesome.
knobs back in.
So, guys, you need to get your hands on a jewelry box of some sort and do this, because it is fun and easy. We did this in an hour and 20 minutes, and think about how much I was really working and how much I was talking. So, and then look how pretty this, look at this side. How pretty that's gonna be when that's back on. I'm so glad that you put the chicken wire in there. All right, guys, so thank you so much for joining us tonight. I hope you had fun. This was a blast. I really enjoyed it. And like I said, it went much quicker than I thought it was going to.
Well, I'll get the rest of it off.
And I love the result. With not a lot of work and my scrap transfers and a teeny bit of stencil, I mean, look what we did. This is awesome. This is awesome. All right, take care, everybody.
We'll call Staten Island Chuck and see if he's got any ideas.
No.
Okay.
Okay. Good night, everybody.